Other news, Justice and Correctional Services Minister Ronald Lamola is today visiting the Kutama-Sinthumule Correctional Facility in Louis Trichardt to assess the extent of the damage. This was caused by the fire last week. On that note, let's take you there. In fact, Mahlako Komani is standing by for that chat. A very good afternoon to you, Mahlako, and thank you for your time with us here. Perhaps, the minister there today assessing the extent of the damages. Can you paint us a picture? What is the situation looking like? Where have the prisoners the inmates been housed at this point?
Led to some of them dying, but one of them was not in the facility when he or she was already in hospital amongst the three. So there were still a number of injuries also that affected about 18 inmates, which you will remember also due to smoke inhalation, who were in hospital. As of 17 August 2023, 2,436 inmates have been transferred to various centers across the country. Invariably, we have seen a sharp increase in the rates of overcrowding in those facilities. For example, the maximum facility in Makado Correctional Center has moved up from 219% to 235%. Polokwane Correctional Center has increased from 218 to about 25% to 236%. Royal Road Correctional Center has shot up from 147 to 171%. And this is just a few. There is still a number of them where we have transferred the inmates to, which it has been impacted in terms of the percentage of overcrowding. Update on the special remission process. We're also able to provide an update on the number of people who have been released from our centers thus far, along the categories approved by the President Ramaphosa through the special remission. Children under the age of 18 years, a total of 18. Youth between the age of 18 and 25 years, a total of 614. Adults between 26 and 64 years, 1,876. Elderly, those who are 65 years and older, we have already released about 18. Disabled people, 7 of them have now been released. That amounts to a total of 2,533 thus far of those that we have released. We are equally encouraged by the progress made at various centers. This will ensure that there is enough bed space to accommodate the offenders from these maximum facilities and other centers. We are also again encouraged by the work of correctional officials who ran these operations since the date of the incident, who made sure that there is no escape and also there is minimum fatalities in the center. And also they ran the operation up until to date, where there is no escape even up to now. They've used methods of negotiations, also methods of ensuring that there is conflict resolution in a manner that minimizes any fatalities in the center. So we say big up to the correctional facilities and correctional services officials for this smooth job of transferring more than 2,000 inmates from this facility with no incident across the country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister. We will then just open for questions from our media colleague. Mahlako, Warren.
All right. Thank you so much. Mahlako Komani, SABC News. Minister, I just wanted to find out in terms of the contract that exists with the department and the facility, what's the plan there? Are you still going to be paying them irrespective of the fact that there are actually no prisoners that are physically here? That's the first question. Second question, in terms of fixing the facility, who's going to be responsible for that? Where's the money coming from? Is it coming from government? Is there an insurance perhaps that is taken out on the facility? What are the plans there? Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you. With regards to the current status of the contract is designed in a manner that the department pays for occupied beds. Now, this institution has lost 3,024 beds. Basically, all the beds have been lost. We're not going to pay for those. We're not paying for those currently. And then in terms of the renovations to the facility itself, that is covered in the contract, is the responsibility of the contractor.
Can I have a question? Yeah, Michael Mabongo from SABC. Minister, you were briefed about how the fire started. Are you satisfied about that kind of explanation, where you have been showed that a communal lighter was apparently used, considering that the damage is a lot, it's huge?
Yeah, obviously, how the fire started and all the damage is still a subject of investigation. But from the preliminary reports, it does show that they might have used that fire lighter to spark the fire. And you will have seen that they ran from one facility to the other, torching and so forth, when there was mayhem during that period. But the final report will definitely show with certainty that that is where the fire started, and this is how they ran from one facility to the other during that period of mayhem. As you will have seen, in some areas they created holes where they were jumping in and burning and all that, including in the workshop. So the final report will definitely give us certainty and clarity how the fire was sparked, but it does show from the preliminary report that is where it was sparked from. And we are satisfied with the current level of investigation as it is happening as we are speaking, and hopefully we'll receive the final report soon. And also we're satisfied with the fact that they have also already started with the process to clean up and mop up the facility, as you have seen that it is beginning to be clean. And there's an area, a small area, where some of the inmates can converge and be able to stay, continue with the facility. So this is also good work from our officials, which we really have to commend, because sometimes government officials work a thankless job. I mean, this is it's not some supernatural that there were minimum facilities, and also there was no escape at all. Even with the transportation across the country, which they are doing on a day-to-day basis, transporting more than 100 offenders across the country. It's not child's play. It's a serious operation, and they have been dealing with it under pressure with serious emergency. So on behalf of government, we really thank the work that has been done by the officials here.
Deputy Minister, may you make some remarks as well?
I think the Minister has covered everything.
Okay. I think that's it then, colleagues. In the absence of any other questions, we will then take one-on-ones with the various political principals and the National Commissioner, and we're happy to see that he's fully recovered.
Hello?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. We'll just do this 2 steps away. SABC want to do one-on-one as well.
Right, so this is some sentiments echoed by Justice and Correctional Services Minister Ronald Lamola visiting the Kutama-Sinthumule Correctional Facility in Louis Trichardt, assessing the extent of the damage, of course, caused by the fire that occurred last week. We're still awaiting the final report as to the confirmation of the source of the fire, the extent of the damage, perhaps also how it will be fixed. We also heard from the Minister that over 2,000 inmates had been transferred to various other prisons across the country. So perhaps we'll await to see what else unfolds, perhaps as that media briefing continues and that walkabout by the Minister continues.